The Iowa City Council unanimously votes to boycott Israel and all companies complicit in genocide. Now, all too often we get so caught up in what can we accomplish at the very top? What can we accomplish as far as stopping the genocide in Gaza? There's very little we can do. But what we can't do at home is figure out how we get out from under the boot that is the Israel lobby and the Zionist control of our country. And one of those ways to do that is to take it directly to your city council. Now, our understanding is that Iowa was spending or giving $120 million per year in federal tax dollars specifically for weaponry for Israel.
Isn't that amazing how these small towns, and, you know, we often talk on here, especially when we talk modern monetary theory, tax dollars don't fund spending, but they do in these municipalities and they do for states. So the fact that so many of these states and counties and cities are so heavily invested in Israel is just, it's sick. It's sick. Why? This is a sickness.
But there's a reason why.
Yeah, of course. It's, you know, but it's just, it's disgusting. But what concerns me and should concern people is that if we now take this story and connect it back up with what happened last week or the week before, when Trump's administration came out and said states that BDS will not receive emergency funding, FEMA funding. And which, again, I said then, and I do believe now is unconstitutional and would eventually not stand. However, it's going to cause complications. So a place like Iowa, which is ripe for like a whole series of tornadoes to come through a town and trash it. And then they're going to turn around and point to this and say, no, we're not going to help you guys out. That's what we need to just be aware. That's what the setup is.
The state of Iowa pays $120 million in federal taxes annually for Israel's weaponry alone. At its most recent city council meeting, Iowa City voted unanimously, every single member of the council, to boycott and divest from Israel bonds and companies deemed complicit in Israel's war crimes. Now, if you saw the murderer's row, a list of the companies that they're divesting from, including the likes of Lockheed Martin, General Dynamics, Boeing, and the like, you would ask yourself, well, why the hell were they investing in them to begin with?
I was going to say, you shouldn't be investing in those anyway, even if they're not sending money specifically to the Zio state.
How much does your municipality pay in taxes to help fund Israel's genocide of Palestinians? Well, I guarantee you that the municipalities that are within the congressional district that Jen ran in, Plantation, Hollywood, Pembroke Pines, Miramar, Davie, Cooper City.
There was that there was that city that, and it's in Florida, and I cannot for the life of me remember, but they did divest. There's a town that divested, and it did make like a little bit of news, but they did it here. It's somewhere up like Vero or somewhere, some other little town that had money invested or however many bonds or whatever they had in, purchased. And they divested, and it's going to start to happen. But yeah.
Colin, scroll down, and if you can, also please grab that quick video footage that I sent to you from the city council meeting. Listen, that's the message right there. First in GOP state to divest from Israel. The blueprint is there. We just have to use it. Who should always... The worst part about our political engagement in this country for the average person is that, granted, most people don't know much of anything about their elected officials, and that's a problem to begin with. But most people don't know who their city council member is. They don't know who their state house representative is. They don't know who their state senator is. Maybe they know who their congressperson is, but even that can be a stretch. Generally, they don't know who their governor or their senators are. Well, in this case, you only have to know the people in your own backyard. Who represents you? And with the city council, you only have to know one. You just have to know the one person that represents you in your given area and find out. It's very easy to find out how the money is being allocated. That's a big part of this. That's the thing that I think a lot of people forget, is that in the end, we can make this change, but we have to get our hands dirty and we have to get in the streets. And one of the ways that that could be done specifically is if we are cognizant of this reality that politics is local. We have to stop looking at what's going on at the federal level. It's not like they're shit anyway to try to change our circumstance.
So I just wanted to tell you, so I'm just looking this up. There's the U.S. Campaign for Palestinian Rights, and it actually has a list, a history of the dates that different places divested. So there have been other divestments before, and even in Ohio, you had back in, this is back, Summit County, Ohio, decided to not purchase any more Israeli bonds. That was back in June of 24. City of Alameda, California, Portland, Maine. You have a few of them. Hamtramck, Michigan. I can't pronounce that. So yeah, you do, but generally not in the red places.
But that's going to change.
Oh yeah,
it is changing.
Oh yeah, because the red people are now equally pissed off about it.
Well, there again, once you understand the game, once you understand the scam, it's very easy to see through it. And, you know, we're going to get to Nick Fuentes and Charlie Kirk. And Saturday night, I am going to be speaking with our good friend Osiris Stuck in the Middle podcast, who has been on the Nick Fuentes train for years. And a person that I figure if I'm going to talk to anybody about Fuentes,
you should talk to the Nick Fuentes expert.
Yeah, talk to the black guy who loves him and figure out exactly what it is that he sees to do such a great thing.
Tell me what you see in him.
Well, I mean, listen, I've listened to Fuentes. I think there are things that he says that I agree with, but he's also, you know, he's very bigoted in a lot of his commentary. He's extremely anti-woman, which I think many people suggest that he's a closet homosexual, but whatever. At the end of the day, I have said time and again, we can get back to these little problems that we have in our daily lives about who is a bigot and who isn't, if we can get through coalescing around this mission to end the Israel genocide and its stranglehold over our country. And he is using his platform for all it's worth.
Are you done with this one?
I'm waiting for Colin.
Oh, okay. What's happening with this?
So we have one clip that we want to show from this event.
Okay.
And I'm going to pull it up now.
Yes. Mo? Yes. Sana?
Yes.
Teague?
Yes.
Wyline?
Yes.
Alder?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Yay.
Yay.
And that's a pretty broad boycott. You know, the other ones were more, okay, we won't buy these bonds anymore. This is a boycott, all companies, Israel and all companies complicit in genocide. That's pretty broad. That's pretty, you know, good for them. Good for them.
And that is, again, an example of why the change is going to happen. It's not going to happen today. It's not going to happen tomorrow, but it is happening. They're never putting this cat back in the bag.